Alarm in the streets of Russian-backed separatist-controlled Donetsk. The siren sounded after the leader of the self-declared republic announced the mass evacuation of civilians.
As of today, February the 18th, a mass centralized evacuation of the population to the Russian Federation has been organized. Women, children and the elderly are to be evacuated first.
Children gathered at evacuation points. Lines of cars began heading towards the Russian border. Sources in Donetsk told Al Jazeera bus drivers were ordered to stay and help the evacuation. Ukraine and its Western backers have for days been saying that Russia plans a so-called false flag incident which could give Moscow or the separatists it supports a pretext to attack. Russia calls that a lie. But hours later, Russian media said this was a car bombing in Donetsk. No casualties were reported, but the target was said to be a top security official in the breakaway region. This is said to show a centre where men can sign up to join the separatist forces. Soon after the announcement by Pushilin, the leader of the other Russian-backed self-declared Republic of Lugansk followed suit and said all those who can carry a weapon should be prepared to fight.
I call on civilians who are not mobilized or involved in the maintenance of infrastructure to leave for Russia as soon as possible.
The announcement came after what the Ukrainian government and the Organization for Security and Cooperation in Europe, the OSCE, say was some of the worst shelling by the Russian-backed separatists in years. The separatists accused the Ukrainian army of the same. Ukraine's top military commander said Ukraine had no intention of attacking the separatist-held territory.
I reiterate that the military and political leadership of Ukraine don't plan and are not conducting offensive operations in the east. The only option of deoccupation of the people and territory that is acceptable to us is the political and diplomatic one.
Villagers close to where the Ukrainian government is in control were surprised and scared by the news.
We haven't heard the news about the evacuation on the other side. I only heard about the kindergarten being shelled yesterday, and they say that it was a provocation. There has to be an investigation.
Of course we are worried. We have children and grandchildren. We just want peace, otherwise we will have to leave this area. It must stop. We have lived through this horror for years.
The announcement by the leadership of both the self-declared Donetsk and Lugansk People's Republic of a mass evacuation on the separatist-controlled side of the front line has huge implications for potentially hundreds of thousands of people living in areas like these in the Ukrainian government-controlled territory, despite Russia repeatedly saying it has no intention of an invasion or military escalation against Ukraine. Those words are becoming increasingly hard to believe. Charles Stratford, Al Jazeera, Novoselivka, Eastern Ukraine.